Hello, guys. I don't know why I have difficulty every week with this little stand. I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be in the land of the living. I'm sorry, I have to fix myself. Y'all try to look my presenter got a new hairstyle. So I hope everyone had just a wonderful Labor Day. I hope you rested. I hope that you reflected and spent time with family. Hey, Regina. And it's September, the ninth month in 2018. I cannot believe it. I am one of self-reflection and looking back to see how I can move forward and just congratulate myself and seek God. And last year this time I was in a totally different place, and that's how we should be. Some things I did not accomplish, but it's so many things within this last year. If I look back from last September until 2018, from 2017, God has been with me. God has done miraculous things in my life, and I know He has in yours. And so I pray that as we self-reflect, that we don't get stuck in being stuck on what we have not accomplished, what we have not did, and some of our failures, because God is good, and He's just gracious. And so we need to be good and gracious to ourselves as well. And so today, this is the kicks off a series with Tuesdays with Tanya, Fall Back in Love with Reading. You guys, before I was a writer, I was a reader. Why? Because my parents were readers. My mother had books. I could still show you some of those books from downstairs. We have a humongous bookshelf in our what we call our storage room. My dad was an avid reader. Before he told us anything, he told us to look it up, read for ourselves, and then come to him. He was the dad who read the newspaper every morning at 4 a.m. Before there was any TV news. He bought us the encyclopedias before there were any computer or internet. So we had to read. And I love reading because why? Reading frees your mind. It opens yourself to experiences and voices that you will never hear just in your geographical circle of influence. And reading allows God to speak to you in a quiet space through written word from somebody you do not know, or somebody you know who may be a friend of yours, but it's God speaking, and you know it's God speaking. So that's why I love reading. So these next 3 months, these are the final months of 2018 of Tuesdays with Tanya. And I just have to reflect on that because I was terrified, and I still am. It's getting a little bit better. Hey, Shara Blakemore, to do the Facebook Lives, but that's what God wants me to do. And so in June, I kicked off my first one, and I can't believe it's 3 months later. So these next 3 months, our theme is Fall Back in Love with Reading. I have about 12 books that have really blessed me. Those are not the only 12, but those are the 12 that I can fit in. So September, October, November is Fall Back in Love with Reading. And of course, December is the global holiday of my birthday. So we will not have Tuesdays with Tanya. Listen, I'm falling. It's my chair. And so let's kick this off. All right, my first book that we're going to review. Can you see that? What's really holding you back? This woman right here was my life coach for about 2 years, Valerie Burton. The Tanya you see today as the author, the writer, the speaker, this lady was my coach and helped me through some sessions of really just what this book says, getting over what was holding me back from living my dreams. Because when you get a coach, you tell them what you want. And then you walk through sessions where you analyze, okay, you want this. What are you doing? And I would usually say, nothing. And she would come with this question. What's holding you back? What fear? What fear of success? What fear of rejection? What's holding you back, Tanya? So we spent many sessions working through the things that were holding me back, some deep fears, some deep apprehensions. And so we all go we have to ask ourselves this question: what's really holding us back from our dreams? We made a plan, we connected with people, but then we start going and then we get stuck. And on the back of her book is get stuck and become unstoppable. So when you really ask yourself this question and dig deep, what's really holding me back? You have to analyze what is holding you back. And in this book, I cannot do it justice. It has, it's like 35 chapters with exercises. This is not a book you sit down and read and you're going to finish in a week. This is really a digging in deep type of book where you reflect, you pray, you digest, and you implement the strategies. So every chapter is a question. It starts out, do you know where you're going? My Mahogany fans, Diana Ross, Billy D. Williams movie. That was the theme song. Do you know where you're going? Do you know where you're going to? Do you know the things that life is showing you? Ooh, I wish I could sing because I was singing right now. But do you know where you're going? The first step to really analyzing what's holding you back is knowing, do you really know where you're going? And not just in your mind. Have you written it down? Have you made a strategic life plan? Have you said, okay, I am here and I want to get here and this is how I do it? And then do you implement that? Do you know where you're going? Some other things, what are your non-negotiables? We have non-negotiables in business and relationships, but we need them for our life. And I had to learn this. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I will not tolerate this. This is my non-negotiable in life. And so you need to really dig deep. It's all about self-analysis. We help everybody else. We coach everybody else. Why not coach ourselves? Some more questions. Are you avoiding pain or embracing joy? Are you really ready to play a bigger game? Some of us say we are ready to play and be here and there and be on this big scope game of life. But that requires some things, that requires some changes. And so you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to play a bigger game? And if so, you got to get around bigger players. You got to get around the pros. And so you have to get over your fear of being around people who are smarter than you, who have accomplished more than you, who have more money, who have more knowledge, who have more influence. If you want to play a bigger game, I know that I want to go bigger in life. Shanetta, good morning. And I want to be on that global stage of speaking, of empowering people. So it requires me to not only learn, but to learn my craft around people who are experts in that field. So I have to get over my fear of being critiqued constructively and not out of any emotionalism, but from people who are objective, who know my goal, who know how to get me to my goal, and aren't afraid to say, hey, Tanya, this is the area you need to work on. You need to work on this area if you want to be a speaker on a national stage. You need to perfect your delivery. You need to perfect your storytelling. So I love that. So I surround myself. I'm not one who is afraid to reach out to the pros of the pros and say, hey, can you help me? Because my dad taught me either they're going to say yes or no. And you'll never know unless you ask. And so this book is just filled with jewels of what is really holding you back. And so today, I can't focus on all of the chapters because they're all great. They take you on a journey. But I am going to focus on something that really is the greatest thing that holds a lot of us back. And that is distraction. So day 21, it says, what's distracting you? And you need to focus on your priorities. Again, we're kicking off my Fall in Love with Reading series, one of my best books that I love from my former life coach, Valerie Burton. I highly recommend this book. It is a self-reflective book, and it really helps you to dig in and say, there's something holding me back. All right, so chapter 21, what's distracting you? A lot of us, when we analyze ourselves and we say, I started off good, but somehow I got distracted. And some of us know we are easily distracted. Some of us know that what things distract us and can take our focus off. So, but when you really ask that question and dig in deep, then you can have a plan of action. You can be on the offense instead of the defense. Now, I'm not a big sports person, but I know when you have an offensive strategy, that means that you are prepared for what's coming your way. All right. So when you know what's distracting you, you've acknowledged that, oh, I'm easily distracted. I have some things that when I plan something and I'm on a roll, something stops me. So let me read it. It says, whether your goal is to strengthen your marriage, build up your retirement account, conquer a deadline, you've probably noticed how frequently distractions creep up into your life and prevent you from being as productive as you like. I'm telling you, once you are focused and you say, I'm going to do this thing, guarantee I will put all my money down on it. You're going to have some strategic distractions. And some of them are so strategic that their goal is to get you off focus for life, because they know that this goal is going to lead you closer to your destiny. It says, she goes in, she says things like unnecessary emails, unexpected phone calls. Let me tell you, single ladies, let me tell you, let me get my little hair together. Tell you when you're done, and some of us have been done with a relationship, and you say, I'm done with this. I am ready to move on. I'm ready to get back out there. Doesn't that ex call you out of the blue? That's distraction. So just know that. Unplanned purchases, unscheduled events. I'm one when people call me out the blue or call me last minute. Can you do this for me? I used to do it. I used to say, oh, I can, and I want to help them out. But no, for me, it's all about planning my life. I'm all about planning and sticking to my plan, because everything we do on a daily basis leads us to our goal. And so when people call me out the blue, hey, Tanya, can you do this tomorrow? No, my schedule is already planned. Now, I'm saying that I'm inflexible. I'm talking about those repeated last minute things that people try to get you to do. And my point is, I've planned my life. You need to plan this. If it was that important to you and you planned it out properly, then you would have planned it out to reach out to people, and not just me, in a timely fashion. No more of this last minute thing. Last minute shows me that, first of all, you're not respectable about where you want to go. And you're not really focused on what you need to do, because when you plan and you're proactive, everything is in order, and then you have a schedule, a rollout schedule. But when you're last minute, it's like happenstance. And people who are really focused on their goals and achieving destiny are surrounded by the pros. You cannot plan last minute things. You cannot react to other people's emergency. Put that down. You cannot react to other people's emergencies. It may be an emergency to them. It's not an emergency to me. You know why? Because I've planned for it. I'm sorry. I'll pray for you. But once you keep enabling people to be last minute, you reinforce that behavior. I had to learn how to say no to a lot of people. Even at this stage, and I'm just getting more, focused on me. And so when I say no, they take it because people take no as a negative. No is very much a positive for me, because it says I am my priority. I respect myself just like I respect you enough to tell you, no, I can't do it because it will overcommit me, or it's not in my schedule and it would throw me off. So learn the gift. It is a gift to tell people no. All right, let me get back to the book. What's really holding me back? Shama, Dr. Daniels. All right. Valerie says that even more troublesome are the many activities that sidetrack us from making progress on our path to extraordinary success. Let me tell you something. We can find a lot of sidetracks. Few of us could be accused of idleness, but we're just not busy doing the things that matter most. In my book, Yes, I Am Enough, I talk about being busy. A lot of people say, oh, I'm busy. But are you busy being beneficial to your goals? or it's just busy just to say you're busy and say I got a busy schedule and I can't. No. All right, is it purposeful productivity or just busyness? That's one you need to reflect on. Is busyness a distraction? She says deliberate action is vital if you want to prevent the enemy from taking your goals and vision hostage. That is what distractions do. They take your goals and visions hostage. So she gives us 3 steps. The first step to overcoming distraction is to align your daily action with a clear set of priorities. When you are clear and focused and have a plan, you say, okay, today, this is what I need to do. I have a what to do list and a what not to do list. All right. I will not do certain things because I have to do these things. All right. Go back to that gift of saying no. Make a list of your top priorities and the key areas of your life. There are 5 key areas of your life: your relationships, your career, your finances, your physical health, and your spiritual life. All of that. It says, and we need to write it down. Write it down gives us more accountability to what we're doing. All right. Block out time every day to concentrate on your vision. If you are not working on your vision every single day, what are you doing? You're just existing. You're not living. You're not working towards anything. And a vision is not something, oh, I'm doing this today. Next week I'm doing that. That is not a vision. That is just something in your head. I can't even call it a dream. A vision is very strategic. It means that you have taken time to analyze who you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. The second step is conquering your distractions is to identify the biggest culprit. To fight effectively, you must know your enemy. All right. So if your distraction is the television. Now, one of my distractions have gone. Thursday nights, my distraction was Scandal. So that has gone. But I know my distraction is television and that social media. So when I am in my telephone. So when I'm really focused on doing something, I will turn my phone off. So I won't get any dings. I will turn the television off. And focus. I will shut my door and focus. Even if I just sit there and think, that is my time to work and focus. So know what your distractions are. If you know that your distractions are men, when you go out, you say, listen, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just be easily distracted by men who mean me no good. Know your distraction. I know my distraction is a man in a suit, smelling good and smiling and talking to me. I know. If you can talk to me, honey, let me tell you, that's my distraction. Ooh, let me get back because I done had a flashback of some little distractions. But know your distractions. So when I'm really focused, I know my distractions. Sometimes you need to just write it down and say, no, these are my distractions. Remember that while you can't avoid temptation entirely, you can choose to resist it and even take action to minimize it. You are in control of your choices. Say, I am in control of my choices. All right. Create rules that give you the freedom to focus on your priorities. You have to give yourself permission to be the success that you are. All right. And so let me do this in closing. What's really holding you back? What is your distractions? Get this book, you guys, if you really want to know what's holding you back. It's 35 chapters of questions that Valerie asked you and helps you dig in. And at the end, it has you focus your thoughts, use words wisely, and target your actions and energize your spirit. Activities at the end of each chapter. So she closes this chapter out, says, rather than allowing yourself to be drawn into unnecessary commitment of your time and energy, be willing to say no to offers that do not serve a purpose for you or that take too much time away from your priorities. Listen, you guys, I don't know how long it's been, but I have learned the art of saying no. And some things that I thought were good for me at first, when I get into them and I see, oh, this doesn't align with where I'm going, or it's taking too much of my time, or they don't even have a plan or a vision. They don't even have an agenda. Organizations, clubs like that, I cannot devote time to. Why? Because I have a specific amount of time. I have a very demanding career. I have a very demanding business. I love my family, and you know my 5 heartbeats. I have to spend time with them. And then I have to take care of me, the chocolate drop. So my life is very structured. And so when I see that things are taken away from my priorities or sucking time out of me that is unnecessary or has no focus, I back away. I say, you know what? This is not for me right now. And it's nothing that, nothing against them, nothing against me. I just know me. I am making myself a priority. Why? Because I need to do what I need to do so other people can be blessed by me and I can fulfill God's purpose. So that's what it is. It says, she says, just because someone asks you to do something does not obligate you to do it. Let me say that again. Just because someone asks you to do something does not obligate you to do it. Practice graciously saying no. So if you want to know what's really holding you back, ask yourself, what's distracting you? Is it the television? Is it emails? Is it overcommitting yourself to things that are not leading you to your purpose? Is it committing yourself to things that are not structured and out of order? Is it having a clear vision and knowing your priorities? Ask yourself those questions. If it is people or things or activities that are sucking you dry or taking you away from your priorities, Valerie says, Tanya says, practice graciously saying no. You are not obligated to do anything just because somebody asks you to. You can graciously say no, and those who really are for you and on your team will understand. They might be a little salty, but God bless. Pray for healing and deliverance, because who's your first priority? You are. God wants you to do something, and sometimes you have to tell even family, no, I can't be here at this time. No, I can't go out to eat because I'm trying to practice a healthy financial diet and a healthy lifestyle. No, I can't join this. I can't be in this. Why? Because at this time I have this to do. I'm preparing. One thing I'm preparing to do is go back for my doctorate. And so before I go back to school, I make adjustments in my life like I was already in school. And so I am really happy because going for your PhD is very demanding, very structured. You cannot just go in there haphazardly. Good morning, Felicia. So right now in my mind, I am a doctoral student. So everything I do has to have meaning, has to be a part of my priorities and a part of my daily activities. Why? Because when I do go back for my PhD next year, I need to be already in that mode. And so I'm giving myself permission to be all that I can be. How am I doing that? By getting my life in order and let nothing hold me back. So I pray that this has blessed you. When you ask yourself, why am I still stuck in a rut? Ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Get this book. It's on Amazon. It's really good. It's 35 chapters, and it takes you through some self-analysis. We are in Tuesdays with Tanya. Fall back in love with reading. Today we did Valerie Burton's. Next week, let me tell you something, and I'm going to try to get my friend on here. It's my friend's book, Sex in the Pews, an expose on the hidden sex culture in the church, by Jonathan K. Sanders, a bad boy from Columbus, Ohio. Known him and his ministry for 13 years. And he talks about, he's rough, rugged, and raw. And so if you don't want the rough, rugged, and raw, don't tune in next week. Because I think I'm going to ask him to come on and give his take on this. I've read it, and it really deals with some things in the church. One thing he says, that when the church is out of order, it always begins at the pulpit. And so, you guys, we got to get, especially if we call ourselves Christians, we got to get ourselves in order. Sex in the Pews next week. What's really holding you back this week? Ask yourself that question. Listen, you guys, I love you. Can share this. Still on the Yes I Am Enough movement. Look for some things in October. Some year-end closing activities. Books are available. T-shirts are available. Share it. ShareTanyaWhite.com. Share this video. And if it bless you or you want some more and say, Tanya, I need help. I need to know what's holding me back. Inbox me. We'll set up a complimentary consultation. And from there, because my passion is to help you live your passion. And in order for me to help you live your passion, I've got to live mine. All right, you guys have a terrific Tuesday. I got to go love on my babies. It's Shacklet Elementary. I love you guys and have a great day.